thank you for watching. I've had many responses over the last week in particular concerning my lecture that I did in August, where I made some predictions. And everybody seems to have focused on the predictions and passed over a lot of the information that was in the lecture. But because of some of the wonderful responses I've had for what I've done, I'm now responding to those people, and also to respond to the critics as well, who have gone on quite a vicious attack on a number of grounds. First things I'd like to say is why we did the lecture that we did. We didn't do it to make money, we didn't do it because we wanted to make ourselves famous. We just had a message and we wanted to put that message out there for those people who were ready to hear it. We knew that the majority of people weren't ready to hear it, and we knew that most of the people that we were targeting were in fact people who were very spiritually aware but perhaps not completely awakened. So we weren't expecting to do a massive broadcast to the world. There was probably a dozen lectures that we had decided to squeeze in before we went on a trip that we had pre-planned to Egypt. Those costs had already been covered and had been set up for things that we were going to do there. So we squeezed in as many talks as we could to get the message to as many people who were ready to listen to it. If they believed it, that was great. If they didn't believe it, that was fine too. Very early on, we had a lot of people who were saying to us that there was so much information. Could we please produce a DVD so that they could go back over it and absorb it more or pass it on to friends? We agreed to do that, and we made a recording of one of the lectures and posted the relevant information free up on the internet so that people could get access to it. We anticipated maybe 100 people might see that, and we would burn perhaps 20 or 30 DVDs for people. It was posted just before we left on our trip, and within the space of 3 days, over 100,000 people had seen that clip, and we were totally blown away with the response and the people who were asking us for copies of the DVD. That's why we did it. We were not trying to make money, as so many people have said. We were just charlatans and scams, and in fact, if we were scam artists, why would we have sold most of our property, given away most of our belongings to charity, to go and do what we did? That's not who we are, and it's quite interesting when you see the response of people. See, because what people say and what people do is a reaction through their filter. It's how they see the world. So we've had responses of people that have been good, we've had responses of people that have been bad, and we've had responses of people that have been ugly. We're just a mirror. These events have just been a mirror. We were given a date, and we were wondering why things weren't happening the way that we'd been shown they were. We now know why. The purpose of the date being wrong was so that people's true self would be exposed. The people who've been truly in heart have supported us 100% all the way through. They know that these events are going to happen as well. But look at some of the reactions of some of the other people. The vitriolic, spiteful, bitter reactions. This is people's true self. This is how they react. For those of you who went out there and tried to help your friends by warning of this, tried to help your family to make them informed, how did they react? Are they now ridiculing you, laughing at you, treating you like an idiot? Do they really love you if that's the way they treat you when you were trying to help them? Have a good look at the way people have reacted to this. That's what this is about. I'd like to direct a few comments to the different groups of people. To those of you who have showed incredible spiritual awareness and wisdom and love, I'm grateful to have met you, to have spoken to you, and to still be communicating with you. You're an inspiration to not just me, but to many others. To those of you who are sitting on the fence again, thinking the date didn't happen, what do I do, should I believe, should I not believe? You've prepared. Stay true to your heart. Keep watching as things change. And to those of you who have just gone on the attack, it's not me you're attacking, it's yourself. To those of you who have acted in unlawful and defamatory manner, you will be hearing from my lawyers, and you have to be responsible for your actions. That's okay. That's just the way life is. I've been responsible for mine. I've stood up, spoken my truth, as I know it. And in that, I've tried to assist people who are ready to be helped. If that's my biggest crime, then I'm guilty 100%. I had one or two comments come back about the information about how the universe came into being and the work of Drunvalo Melchizedek. Wonderful reactions, no criticisms. My discussion of how the universe came into being, how the solar system came into being, how our sun threw off a brown dwarf star, the formation of the planets, the harmonic sides of things, all of those things. Lovely responses from people. No criticisms. The information I gave about how the orbits got tilted, how the Earth got formed from a collision, and the Moon, some wonderful responses from people. No criticisms of that. It seems the only thing that I was being criticised about was the date. Not even my information about the Drakos and about the whole human agenda. No criticisms about that. Just the date. And yet I told people, don't believe me, do your own research. And people got very, very angry. Why would they be angry that the world didn't end? Wouldn't they be happy? Instead, they chose to turn all of their anger onto the messenger. Spending your time in bitter quarrels with a person who's the messenger is a waste of your time. Why so many of you are committing so much of your time to Facebook, to emails, to all of these things concerning me? I'm flattered that you would devote so much of your time and energy to me. I don't need it. I don't desire it. But I'm flattered that you're committing so much of your time and energy to me. But it's time and energy that could be better spent on loving your family and loving your friends and loving the people around you. Because the way you are is a manifestation of you. And if you're walking around attacking me, then what are you doing in the rest of your life? Are you bitter? Are you angry? Do you feel unfulfilled? Move on. I have. The name I had in the past was a name that was relevant to my life as a performer, and I've left that behind. And I, as a person, didn't resonate with that name any longer. So I changed it to one that suited me, and as a writer, gave me the ability to be able to write with a pseudonym. Some people may say, oh, I changed my name because of what happened to me in the past. Well, people didn't even do their research. None of you went out and got a copy of the transcript of the trial that I had to go through, where I was the victim of an attention-seeking teenage girl from a private school. If you read the transcript, you would see how wrongly I was treated, and how I had to fight to prove my innocence. And then I stood in front of a jury of 12 people who heard all the evidence, and after 3 weeks came back within an hour and cleared me of all of those charges. I was proven to be an innocent man. But all those people who were casting aspersions my way, did they do their research? No. They picked up on one little media article that was on the net. And of course the media, they print the truth all the time, don't they? Yeah, these are the same people who've done no research about anything. Doesn't matter. My lecture's not directed towards those. They're part of the human consciousness, and they will forge their own path. It's the message that's important. And what was the message? The message was the governments are lying to us. There is something big coming this way. And it's time to wake up to who you are and prepare. That was the message, and it was really clear. But only the people who were prepared got the message. Do I have to apologise about being wrong? No. Because 99% of the material that I gave you was correct. Only the date was wrong. Somebody even criticised me because I got all my dates wrong with the discovery of the planets. Well, I don't use any notes in a lecture, and insignificant details like when planets were actually discovered were irrelevant, because the purpose at that point was to say that all of the orbits of the planets had been perturbed by some larger object. The dates were irrelevant. So if people want to pick me up on little insignificant mistakes like that, boy, you're really being petty and you're missing the point. This is what I was told after the event. It was for you to find out where your heart really is and where the hearts of those people around you really are. Some of you should be totally ashamed at your behaviour, at the things that you've said, at the things that you've done. But you won't be. You'll justify it, self-righteously saying that you're protecting the innocent. We're no charlatans. We're just trying to help people grow. Some people suggested that we had 100,000 people buying copies of our DVD and that we made $2.7 million. Seriously. We sold less than 300. Okay, we made a couple of $1,000s out of it. But we don't have a home. We've sold all our possessions, given them away. We have to survive somehow. For those of you who are still interested in the truth, we're always going to be there for you. We're not running away. These events are going to happen. Some of you have prepared, and you've prepared early. Keep your eyes on the skies. Keep your eyes on the actions of the government, and be aware. And to the rest of you, I just wish you luck. I would like to thank my wife, Crystal, for the amazing support that she has given me on this journey. She has incredible spiritual insight and the ability to help people really move forward. This has been our objective, to help people move forward in their life. Sometimes that means we have to confront our obstacles, confront the challenges that are before us. And to do that, sometimes we need a mirror. And that's been much of my life, is to stand up and be a mirror for people so that they can see themselves as they truly are. And for me to see myself the way I am. I don't say I'm without flaws, and I don't say I know everything. But I am who I am, and I'm proud to stand up and be that, for whatever it is. And if I make mistakes, then I move forward and I learn from them. I was given a date which I believed to be true, and the evidence supported that, and many of you supported that evidence. As we've got more information now, we realise that that was just a precursor to wake us up. There is something coming, and it is big, and it is going to change stuff. There are big changes ahead, and we should be excited about them. And I'll see you soon.